world of Grand Seiko. Today, I will be your guide to the proper usage and care of your Grand Seiko SBGH266. This Hi-Beat automatic is an automatic winding watch. Per its name, it uses its case-back rotor and the kinetic energy of your wrist to energize the movement, and when fully energized, it does have a 55-hour power reserve. However, should the watch stop, you may need to manually energize the watch by winding it. Take the crown in its first position flush to the case and turn it between 30 and 40 times. 4 dozen turns will be more than enough to start the movement, and you'll know the watch is running because the seconds hand will begin to advance. Now at this point you can put the watch on your wrist or set the watch and then put the watch on your wrist, and it will continue to energize itself. But if you wish to wind it to its maximum power capacity of 55 hours approximately, simply continue turning until you hear a subtle click or tick from within the watch. That is the bridle style mainspring slipping in its barrel to relieve excess stress and strain. You cannot accidentally overwind this automatic watch, so simply turn until you hear that audible click. The watch can be set using a number of subsidiary modes. The first of which is the stop seconds function or setting. Stop seconds quite literally means you stop the seconds hand. Now the balance is no longer beating, the watch has been arrested, and you can synchronize to a reference time. But the best way to do this, especially if the watch isn't indicating the correct date, is to first turn the watch through a date change. Turn it through midnight so you know exactly where you are in the AM-PM sequence of the day. So for example, you know whether you're looking at 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. right here. Okay, so I'm going to push the crown back in. Now I am through the date change. I know that I'm looking at the morning. I'm going to wait for that seconds hand to reach 12. In the meantime, I'm going to look up an accurate reference, such as an online atomic clock that is set correctly and represents my time zone. And what I will do is I will wait until that seconds hand reaches 12 precisely. And I'm going to dig my fingers in. It'll be easier for you because your hands won't be gloved. And when that hand reaches 12, I pull the crown out 2 stops. So 2 to tenths all the way out, full stop. Now I'm in setting mode or stop seconds. The watch is fully arrested. What I'm going to do is look up my local hour. Let's say where I am, it is 7:25 in the morning. So I'm going to set my watch to the correct hour. I'm at 7, but I'm going to set my timepiece to 7:26. So I'm going to set to the next nearest minute compared to my online atomic clock. At most, I'm 60 seconds ahead of the correct time. I'm going to wait for that atomic clock to catch up with the time I've set to the hour, minute, and second. And as soon as they coincide, I push that crown back in. I resume the beat of the balance. Now I have synchronized my watch to the second against a reference time. So I know I'm looking in the morning. I'm looking at the watch in the morning. I'm looking at 7:26. But if I want to use the quick set date, I pull the crown out 1 to 10, not flush to the case, not all the way out. Note the seconds hand continues to move. And I look up the date. Let's say it's the 8th. I'm going to turn the crown in a clockwise direction, and I'm going to set the 8th. Here's the thing. You can't use that quick set function. You don't want to use this rapid cycler during the hours of 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. as that is the period during which the watch is automatically jumping its own date. So if you try to use the quick set from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m., you risk crashing the movement and causing damage. So if you need to change the date during that period, go into stop seconds setting mode and roll the hour hand through the date change. Do it that way. Don't use the quick set between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. Your watch will thank you. There are 3 areas of hazard that you need to keep in mind when handling your watch: water, magnetism, and shock. Let's talk about water first. Water can cause cosmetic and mechanical damage to your watch, and you can see that this timepiece is water resistant. Every Grand Seiko features its water resistance written on the case back, and in this instance it is 10 bar or 100 meters. So the watch is water resistant to 100 meters. That's suitable for surface swimming and most casual aquatic activity. It's not suitable for high dives, and if you're going to go into action with rebreather apparatus, you want a different Grand Seiko. But this is a swimmable watch. Keep in mind, leather, as featured on the strap, is a natural porous material that is never water resistant, so take care to keep the watch exclusively shod with a water-resistant band or bands when you are going to use it for aquatic activity. Keep your leather high and dry. It's also important to remember that you can avoid accidental drowning of your watch. Keep the crown flush to the case whenever the watch is submerged, and even when there's just water on the case, as a wet case and a crown in use for winding or setting can bypass the case seals and introduce water to the interior of the watch, damaging both the dial and the movement with expensive consequences. It's also important to note that not only can you help avoid accidental drowning, but water resistance is not a static feature of your watch, and over time, as lubricants age and seals degrade, your watch will be relatively less water resistant. Therefore, Grand Seiko recommends on an annual basis having your watch water tested at a service center or factory dealer so that you know it still meets its factory rated hermeticity. Magnetism is ubiquitous and unseen. It's our next hazard area. Magnetism is found in static magnets such as speakers, subwoofers, the speakers hidden inside your laptop, the closures of wallets, purses, and refrigerator doors, and electromagnets are as close as your phone, wiring looms, and computers and office and home entertainment systems. So keep your watch remote from all powerful static magnets and electronic sources. The hallmark of a magnetized watch, and it magnetizes the hairspring of your watch specifically, but magnetism will cause your watch to run erratically, quickly, slowly. But if you suspect due to erratic running that you might have a magnetized hairspring, take your watch to a Grand Seiko dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize your watch. Now, shock is another important area of consideration, and one that can cause, at minimum, imprecise operation of the watch, and at maximum, physical damage to case, to seals, to sapphires, even enough damage to stop the movement. Therefore, Grand Seiko recommends disuse of the watch during concussive sports such as batting, tennis, golf, or firearms marksmanship, as well as the riding of ATVs and mountain bikes. Ultimately, every fine mechanical timepiece requires a periodic, comprehensive service. Per Grand Seiko, this should occur roughly every 3 years. A good time to have the total condition of the watch checked is during your annual water test. Your Grand Seiko Service Center will be able to tell you whether the watch, in terms of strap, case condition, chronometric performance, and water resistance, does require a full service, and if necessary, service exclusively with Grand Seiko authorized service centers or the factory itself, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools, and original Grand Seiko factory replacement parts to preserve the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to guarantee all labor and parts invested with a Grand Seiko factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage and care of this or any Grand Seiko timepiece.